Hi, everyone. Welcome to Lilybug's Library. My name's Linda, and this is Dudley on my lap. And it is early enough on a Saturday morning. We're going to call this Friday Reads. Now, I am having to record on a different. I'm on Zoom instead of on what I usually use. And the one that I normally use wanted to do a nice update, and I said yes, and that's usually not a good idea because it updated and now it doesn't work. So I had to scramble to find something. So I apologize. You won't get the pictures of the books, but we'll have to make do today. So the first book that I read last week was The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. So it was by Krista Davis, and it's a cozy mystery. It was about what was her name? Oh, Holly. It was about Holly who lives and works in this inn with her grandmother. And they're having a festival, and it's all they invited ghost hunters, and it's all very ghostly, and everybody's having a good time. And then someone ends up being found drowned. And it looks like they drown in a very small amount of water, and yet, drown is drown. So they have to figure out who it is that did this to this woman because it doesn't look as though they don't think it was suicide. I don't think I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube. They don't think it was at her own hand. They think it was something that occurred. I didn't realize it was so hard to not say words. But anyway, I thought it was quite good. There was a lot in it with her dog, Trixie, and her cat Twinkletoes, which normally I would love, but I found they were more just chasing each other around and kind of getting in the way sometimes. And I wasn't a big fan of it. I tried. I listened all the way through, and it just for some reason I just didn't connect with it. I don't think it was the book. I think it was me, but I gave it 3 out of 5. The characters I thought were cute, but just something about maybe I don't know, the writing style or the pacing of the book. It just didn't really do it for me. And as you can see, I got a few little notes here, but so the next one that I read was the second in the Shady Hollow series, called Old Clay. Excuse me, as I said, it's early, so I'm just drinking my first coffee. And so with this one, there were old bones that were dug up in an orchard, and so they ended up calling Orville, who's the deputy of the town, and he goes to take a look and see what's going on. So they dig these all up, and the doctor comes in, or the coroner, I guess, comes in and takes them away and tries to figure out who they belong to. And they can tell they're very old, but that's really about all they can tell. And then it turns out that they are the bones of a moose. And Joe is the moose that runs the coffee shop. And his wife disappeared about 12 years ago. So they start to think maybe they are her bones. So meanwhile, Vera Vixen starts to investigate all of this, and I enjoyed it. It was very autumnal. Lots of different quotes about the beautiful leaves and walking through the forest and autumn and how it looks and smells, and oh, she does such a wonderful job. Um, and then the only part that kind of brought it down for me is I did find it was very predictable, more so than most cozies or than I expected. I mean, a lot of times, yeah, by the end you can kind of, figure it out, or, not always, but sometimes can figure out who it is or what's going on. But this one was almost from the very beginning. You didn't necessarily know why, but you certainly knew who. And so I didn't really care much for that part. But I love the place. I love the animals. Uh, I love their interactions with each other, and the whole place is just so cozy and so sweet. So I gave that one 4 out of 5. So the next one, let me see, what was the next one? Oh, the next one I just finished. It was Lethal Licorice by Amanda Flower, and it's the second in the Amish Candy Shop series. And um, again, it was, I don't know, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but this was another one that I couldn't really connect with. I just, um, it irritated me that the Amish were, I mean, I know they're, um, I don't want to say hard people, but they don't show their emotions a lot, and hardworking and things like that. But sometimes the characters in this one seemed just hard, period. Hard and harsh, I guess. And so there was a lot of that. And Bailey King, who is the daughter of the people that run Swissman Sweets, she's living there now. And so she joins this candy making competition. And, there's, of course, some problems with the fact that she's English and she's not Amish. And, a lot of the competitors don't care for that. And of course, then one of the competitors ends up dead. And so Bailey is trying to figure out who ended up, like what happened to this person. And especially when, they find some of Swissman Sweets around them and it's like, this doesn't look good for her. So she starts to investigate that. Plus, the lady, I can't remember her name, but she has a pig that was in the first one that I just adored. And of course, the pig has gone missing. So sadly, that means you don't get any of the pig for most of the book, which I was missing. Um, so it was. I do like Bailey, and I do like some of the people in the village, but some of it I just, like I said, I just didn't connect with. So I would give that one probably a 3.5, rounded up to 4. So again, not bad. I mean, it was, you know, I liked the story. I liked, the way it was going. I just, something about it just didn't sit well with me, I guess. So we're not hitting, not batting 1,000, when it comes to books the last couple of weeks. Like it seems like, I don't know, I'm just not picking the right ones, I guess. So now I'm reading uh, At Death's Door. I had to think about it because I knew I was going to say it wrong. At Death's Door, which is one of the pizza shop mysteries. And so enjoying it so far. And I'm listening to Virgin River, which I know some of you, really like. I know it's a TV show. I've never seen the TV show. I've never read any of the books. So far, I'm really impressed with it. So we'll see where that one goes. I mean, I started out really impressed with everything, and then, we'll see. Um, Otherwise, that's about it from me. Dudley is sound asleep on my lap here. I'm sorry you're only getting his toe, but he's we'll see if we can wake him up here before the end. Um, so it's dataversary night because my husband and I met 12 years ago today. So we're gonna go out tonight and go out to dinner. And so it's I mean it's I guess we met 12 years ago a couple of days from now, but it's the weekend, so we're going out tonight. And it's beautiful and sunny out. I don't know how warm it is. Probably not very because I find it's really getting cooler lately, but it's not bad. And otherwise, in my world, I'm trying. I know I've mentioned before that I have fibromyalgia, so I've been on some painkillers for that, and they were working, really well actually. But there was a lot of them, and it's been problematic when it comes to going back to work. So now I'm trying to get off some of those painkillers, and that's problematic too because turns out they all have, withdrawal symptoms. So that's kind of been a real pain. But and plus the pain's back, of course, talking about it being a real pain. It's now we're in more pain and the withdrawal symptoms. And here in I don't know what it's like where you're at, but here in this province, or at least with my doctor, she can be very hard to get into. it's all through a portal and you have to make your appointments that way. And yeah, it's just, uh, I prefer the old-fashioned days where you just called up your doctor and made an appointment. But I'm not really sure why they changed that, but they did. So anyway, I've booked an appointment through the portal to see her, but that's going to take quite some time. And in the meantime, we're just, trucking along, right? So next week. Yes, next week is Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving here. So we're gearing up for that, and we're in full fall mode. And as you can see by the blankets and the shirt, and I mean, it's my favorite time. I just really love fall, love everything about it, and love everything about Halloween. I just think it's a fun holiday, and one that's just that everyone can celebrate. Like it's not something that's religious. It's not something that's only a select group celebrate. It's just something that everyone can have fun with. And I love seeing all the kids dressed up for trick or treating and stuff. I mean, that's always fun too. I have no idea what my grandchildren are going as this year, but I suspect some Pokemon character. That's usually what we come up with. Uh, Wonderful husband and I are going out to a yep, sorry, words are hard. It's early. Going out to a Halloween party, and that should be fun too. And just in case anyone's watching, I can't tell you my costume yet, but I'll take a picture. All right. Well, I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. And I will be back soon with my October TBR. I know I'm a little late getting it to you, but it's coming. It's coming. I will tell you, it's full of arcs for the most part because I have a lot of them I have to read. And so I'm sliding them into October and then adding in a few Halloween ones as well. All right. Hope you have a great day, friends. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.